says what must be true for lines A and B to be parallel lines. So A and B are the green lines, and then C is the transversal. So let's just go through the options they gave us. So it says that angle 1 is 4x minus 10. That would make that angle and angle 1, these two, be congruent to each other. Those are congruent to each other if the lines are parallel. They're called alternate exterior angles because they're on opposite sides of C, and then they're outside, which exterior of A and B. So this is true. And then angle 2 is 58. So angle 2 and the 58 degrees are corresponding angles if they are parallel. So that must be true as well. X equaling 20, that does not prove that they're parallel. Saying that 3x minus 1 equals 4x plus 10, those are no type of angles. They're not corresponding, they're not alternate exterior. And then angle 1 equaling 58, again, those are not any type of angles to each other based on these two parallel lines. So the only ones, if they are parallel, the only two that would be true would be the first two. Okay, parallel lines, T and U. So let's highlight T and U. So here's T and U. Are cut by a transversal, by two transversals. The two transversals are S, and then R is another transversal. It says, which intersect at point U. Okay, what is the measure of angle 2? So angle 2, remove some of my, you can see 2 a little closer. So angle 2, and based on this, angle 2 is vertical to this angle here, and then so is this one. So I can figure out what angle 2 equals. Let's see. So I know that this angle is 46, the 46-degree angle. We know that that makes this 46. And then I can figure out what the other two angles are because I can subtract it from 180. And then I know that this angle is 46. And so that angle 1 is 46. Because these two angles here correspond, and these two angles are vertical. So I now know that let's see, what is the measure of angle 2? So I know that those are 46. And let's make angle 2 y. This one's kind of tricky. So I know that angle 2 has to be congruent to the vertical angle across from it. I know that these three angles here have to equal 180. And I know angle, so let's figure out what x is. So I know that 4x minus 8, I know this angle, so let's change the color. I know this angle and this angle are congruent. So I can set together 3x plus 17 equal to 4x minus 8. So let's subtract 3x from both sides, add 8 to both sides. So I'm going to get 25 equals x. So I know x is 25. So that means I know that 25, 4 times 25, which is 100, minus 8, which is 92, is what this angle here equals. Now I know 92 plus 46 minus 180. So, sorry, this is kind of, so 92 and 46 is going to be 138. So then we're going to do 180 minus 138 to be 42, which is why 42 is it. So I had to figure out first that the two angles that are labeled with the expressions are equal to each other. Once I find x, I can use that to figure out what angle 2 is. Okay. If 8 and 10 are congruent, so angle 8 and angle 10 are congruent, which are alternate interior angles. And then it tells me that angle 1 and angle 7 are also congruent, which are alternate exterior angles. That means that R and S are parallel, and so is T and U. So this was actually the correct answer. All right, if x equals 10, which lines are parallel? Check all that apply. So in order to figure this out, we got to figure out what each one equals. So 7 times 10 is going to be 70, minus 5 is going to be 65. 12 times 10 is 120, minus 5 is 115. 10 times 10 is 100, plus 15 is 115. And then 8 times 10 is 80, minus 25 is 55. Okay, so I know that C and D are parallel to each other because their alternate interior angles are equal. So C and D are parallel. Okay, I know that B and E are not because these two would be equal to each other. Okay, so I know that these two are not. I then want to figure out what this angle would be. They have to equal 180. So I would subtract 180 and 115, which would be 65. That means that B and C are parallel and that B and D are also parallel. But D and E are not, and C and E are not. So these ones are not because 65 is not equal to 55.